What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Real Estate Podcast, episode 261. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
We're rehashing some old teen angst without him.
It's funny because Rammstein released a song this week called Angst. And it's got these like zombie-looking cheerleaders dancing in it.
Yeah.
I was like, huh.
Yeah, what happened here, you know?
Yeah, whop here. But yeah, Donnie Darko, man.
Yeah, man. It's been a minute since I've watched Mr. Darko and his adventures. And
Some would say a classic.
I mean, absolutely, right? At this point, like, I mean, it came out, what, 2001?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just feel like if anyone's watched a Richard Kelly film, it's Darko.
Which is crazy because it's his first one.
Yeah,
Pretty good
dude.
for a first movie.
He really set the bar high,
Yeah.
you know?
But you can tell he was trying to get some sort of thought across. That first movie, you know, where they, especially with the type of director we've been dealing with, like it's like it was just a display of how weird he's like. This is how weird I want to go.
And he went there, man. It's amazing, like, not only like the writing, the directing, it looks amazing.
Oh, the cinematography, dude. When you get the big reveal, like at the school. And it's playing the song, you know, and they're doing the walking around, and you see the little girls dancing.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all noticed when they do the one little girl at the front, which I think is his little sister. She tries to high five a girl, and they just like pat, you know,
yeah. But I think that says more about like the kids, though. I don't like. It probably wasn't intended to happen that way, but it almost felt like it was intended to happen that way.
Leave it in because that's real.
Like, yeah. Well, and because of like how the bitch, you know, she was the one that was over Sparkle Motion.
Yeah.
You know, there's a little bit of resentment there because they
dedication to Sparkle Motion.
Yeah. So it's like one of those things where it's like, does she really deserve to be like cheerlead or, you know, whatever they call it? But yeah, the lighting, I always was impressed by the lighting, especially how certain scenes, like whenever he's at the therapist office, how it looks like something from like the 1960s.
Yeah.
Like the way that it's lit, the way that it's shot and everything, you know? And then there's certain scenes that have that feel to it. It feels timeless to a certain degree, you know? But
yeah, because it's supposed to be like in like 1988 or something, right?
Yeah.
And it really doesn't look super 80s.
Like,
no, not really. Like,
well, and there's not a lot of like if they made Donnie Darko today, of course they'd have to change a couple of choices of language and things. Yeah, but they would definitely have way more licensed 80s music in it, or references to 80s pop culture, you know? And that was one thing that's kind of impressive looking back at it now. It's like there really wasn't that much, you know, no reference other than like the election and everything that was happening around that time. Yeah, the Smurf thing.
That whole Smurf conversation was like a straight out of a Kevin Smith movie.
I know, right? Yeah. But when was the first time that you guys watched Donnie Darko?
I was like 10th or 11th grade.
Yeah.
It was on the list of I guess you could call it edgelord movies.
Yeah.
Like it's your pick. Like, oh, you watch this, you like this. Oh, but you don't know what this movie's about. Like, it's the same people that was like, yeah, I'm watching Fight Club. Yeah. I'm reading Noam Chomsky. Let me tip my fedora a little.
Yeah.
So when was it that I watched it and we thought, was that like 2010?
Yeah, it's about 10 years ago. 10 or 12 years ago.
Here's the reason I never watched it. Because I was like, oh, it's a Jake Gyllenhaal movie. You know?
Yeah.
And that was kind of before he like...
Yeah, became...
Well, it's like he kind of did this movie. Then he went off and did some things where it's like, okay, you know, he
Yeah,
played the
yeah.
But never
heartthrob.
anything like this,
No.
though.
So when I watched it, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay,
What?
I didn't know it was that kind of
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Like
He
Southland Tales,
really,
didn't know.
yeah. He really puts his chops on display, though. You know what I mean?
And this had to be pretty early in his career, right?
I mean, it's got to be his first feature, right? Like that he was top billing for.
Yeah, he did a handful of things, but nothing like this. Like
No,
that I see. He was in City Slickers in 1991.
I would say that like October Sky,
Yeah,
because he was the lead in October
that's
Sky,
right. Yeah,
and then this came out, and then Bubble Boy. He had a good year in
he did have a good
2001.
year, especially after
You
Donnie
know?
Darko
Yeah, yeah,
and of course October Sky.
yeah.
That was a good movie. So
Yeah.
I
I
did
haven't
see
seen
that movie when it came out.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in so long.
It probably would have been 1999 the last time I
Yeah,
saw it. That's kind of a one and
dude.
done. It's a good movie, but
Yeah, we watched it at school,
yeah.
but yeah, and then you've got Jake, you've got Maggie, you've got
Mm-hmm.
Swayze, and then you've got a lot of these character actors that you've seen a million times over.
I wonder if he did the same thing here like he did with Southland Tales, where he's like, these people kind of got pigeonholed, so I wanted to give them like Patrick Swayze.
Yeah,
he never said he'd play somebody like that.
No,
like
no, he's definitely stepping out of like what would be his norm, right?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, he was great.
He did a great job.
Yeah, he looks and sounds like a used car salesman.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I remember watching this back in I was probably in 10th, 11th grade whenever I watched it, because like Trav said, same sentiments. Like there was a lot of those movies that were kind of going around that people were passing around at school and watching, and that was one of them that definitely fell into that. And there was like I had never seen storytelling like that before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's one of the things that drew me to it, was because like of course it's a weird movie and everybody loves weird from time to time. Well, most people love weird from time to time, but like it's just the way that like Richard Kelly, like it's kind of like Clerks, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the storytelling, it's the fact that it was Richard Kelly's first film. It was the fact that like the talent that came from this.
Yeah.
What this director was able to, it was like a perfect storm. And then it was also one of those films that you can revisit, and every time you revisit it, you find something different. You start picking up on little things, and as you get older, some of those things may be interpreted a little bit differently than they were when you were younger,
Yeah.
Because like one thing that I kind of picked up on this viewing more so, and I don't know if it's because I'm older or if it's because of like the climate of the world right now, but like the mental disorder, like the mental stuff that was happening in the film. You know what I mean? And the fact that like they really didn't elaborate too much on exactly what happened. Like he kind of mentioned it a little bit, but like it's to me that's kind of an interesting thing, and it's kind of interesting also in the respect that like he has these problems, and that also adds into the mystery of like, is it in his head? Is it really happening? What the fuck's happening here? But it really feeds into some of that stuff, and it's very interesting the way that it was like played out, and how it was written. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like his parents were the shrink was telling him she thought he was paranoid schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Talking stuff. Imaginary friend, wanting you to do bad stuff,
Yeah.
And they never really did go back to like, he burned a house down.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you do that? It seems like he's got a pretty good life.
Well, and that's another thing too, watching it. It's like is he like a spoiled kid, right? Or does his parents just not have the capacity to like to be involved in his life more,
It
if
kind of
that
looked
makes
like
sense.
that.
Yeah,
Like they kind
exactly.
of
Like
doing their own thing, just
yeah, and everybody's doing their own thing. I mean, the father, I mean, by the house, even in 1988 standards, lived in a really, really nice house.
mm-hmm.
The dad was definitely traveling, and like he had to travel for work, so he was definitely somebody that was like very important at whatever company or whatever he did as for a living.
Probably gone a lot.
Yeah, exactly. The mom was like a stay-at-home mom.
Yep.
But she was so like you could tell from a couple of those scenes, she's so wrapped up in the politics of everything that's going on around her.
Yeah.
You know, when it really like none of that shit even fucking matters for real, you know? And then you can tell like the family is very well educated. They're all very smart, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, is it the case that like his family or that his parents like didn't, you know, give him like the attention that he needed, so he started to like lash out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or is it something more? Is it a legitimate mental illness? Because like he said he burned a house down on an accident, right?
Mm.
I mean, if you burn a house down on accident, like I've played with matches and stuff when I was a kid. I didn't burn a house down, but like that's if it's available, kids are gonna play with that shit, you
Yep.
know? And maybe that's why there's this disassociation between like him and his parents, because his parents was like, well, we got to get him help. There's obviously something
Yeah,
wrong with
we don't
him.
know why he's acting out like this.
Yeah. When in reality, it's probably like, no, I was just a kid,
It was an
man. Like,
accident.
yeah. So there's a lot, you know, and that's one of those things you can go back and you can read more into that and look more into that and probably discover more, you know?
Yeah, didn't he tell his sister near the beginning to quit taking his medicine?
Yeah.
They had him on medicine for it. Or
Yeah.
whatever they were giving him. It's like he ain't even diagnosed yet. We're giving him medicine? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly
this is
right.
America.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, and then the therapist was like, "You can quit taking your medicine. They're all placebos anyway." And it's like, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, really? So, and like you can kind of tell too, like Donnie has his small group of friends. He's not very popular with like the bullies and stuff like that, but like the way that it seemed was like those kids became more involved in his life whenever after the accident happened.
Yeah. Well, the one kid thought, he's like, they're blaming me for the fucking pipe. Did you tell
Yeah,
them it
yeah.
was me? It's like, no, dude, they just think it's you because you're the shithead in the school.
Yeah, you're a fucking piece of shit,
So,
man. You and Seth Rogen.
yeah. He didn't say much.
No. They're like, just be quiet.
Yeah. Just be here.
Yeah, just show up and be quiet, you know? But yeah, and the premise is so interesting though. Like the world's gonna end. What do you like, you know, what are you gonna do? And I mean, he did his thing, man.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of plays like a what if too, because because everybody seemingly forgets after everything comes full circle.
But you see all those people at the end, like having that moment.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why the girl, like, when she's looking at the mom, she's like, it's something
Yeah.
almost like
Yeah. Well, and they explain in it, it's like, okay, people that are coming, like whenever the tangent universe closes out, some people will remember certain parts of that through dreams.
yeah.
And that's whenever you've got like the two teachers are in bed. He wakes up, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, like he remembers all that shit. She's not gonna
Fucking
remember all
dude's
that.
crying.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Cause he
terrible
fucking
nightmare that I got
yeah,
caught.
yeah. And it's really interesting too. It's like how your life and like the things that you do, whether it be good or bad, how that affects everything around you in that way. Because like nobody comes out good in the film except for the sister. Like she gets accepted into college
Mm-hmm.
and the dad, like, which he's gone on a trip, so you don't really know what happens there. But like the mom and the sister die in the plane crash, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He the
But that
Patrick
fixes it but they're alive at the
exactly,
end
yeah.
because it
Yeah,
fixes
yeah,
it
yeah.
like it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just that idea of like the tangent universe that kind of spiraled out of control, and it shows that like him being alive and him living through that, and it shows like everybody else just has a bad existence at that point. And I don't say that she gets out scot free because I'm pretty sure that the sister was dating Frank, right?
Oh yeah, because she was looking for him at the party.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then Donnie kills Frank,
That's why we never see who when she's coming home late at night. You never see who she's with
Yeah, yeah,
because she's been out with Frank.
yeah. This fucking creepy mask on.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the whole idea of like predestination and all that kind of stuff and free will and everything, it's very interesting conversations to like to witness and to also kind of be a part of, because like, the idea is like every decision that you make sprouts another universe, right?
Yeah.
So, that whole conversation that he had with the teacher, which is crazy, the teacher stops the conversation because he says he can lose his job. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, is it because the fact that like religion and God was brought into it why he shut that conversation down?
Talk about time
Or,
travel.
well,
Probably
yeah,
like, you know.
yeah, theoretical, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, anybody, people are like, that just sounds crazy.
yeah, yeah.
May be possible, may not be, but it just sounds crazy to some people.
Yeah. Did you watch the director's cut, Trav?
I watched the cut that was on HBO.
Okay. Did it have the pages from the book pop up?
I don't recall, man.
Okay,
It
because
was earlier today. I was doing shit while I watched it too, man.
Well, because in one of the pages of the book they explain there's the living, the affected living. So that's everybody that's alive, and then you've got the manipulated dead, right? And that's one of the passages that's brought up, and it's like the manipulated dead will be there, and they'll have a purpose, and like they'll have some specific purpose that they're fulfilling, or that they're trying to lead the players in place. And like I never thought this or considered this, but like, was Roberta Sparrow one of the manipulated dead?
I think she may have been. Well, because it got him going in the right direction.
Absolutely, yeah. Because like they almost hit her with the car, like really early on in the film, and then he starts asking what are the odds of him talking to the teacher about time travel, and he
and
has a
then he knows
book
who
written
she
by it.
is, and
Yeah, exactly.
well,
Yeah.
even like
So
it's her fault that they run the girl over, and I think that kind of helped him make his decision.
yeah, yeah.
Like, well, I'm gonna die, but she'll live.
Yeah. So that's something that I thought was interesting though, like going back and watching it again is like the fact that because everybody's like, well, we all thought she was dead,
Like,
you know?
well, like I feel like the best way for me to explain the what if thing I was talking about is imagine this film. Imagine like, okay, you got a cinder block wall. You're looking at it sideways like you would see a projectile hitting it, right?
Yeah.
All right. The incident at the beginning of the film is that initial hit into that wall. And then you see the debris shoot out on the side. And in slow motion, the movie works backwards to build up to that point again.
Right.
Like that, like he died when it happened, and he got to see the after effects, and then it slingshots him back to where he's fucking dead from.
Yeah.
And he got to see how he would have went on, and like he wasn't aware of it, but he got to see how he went on and affected how his reality was affected by that had he
Yeah.
survived.
Right.
Like
It's a
being able to do the you don't know you're dead, but you're dead,
yeah, yeah,
but without someone spelling it out on a chalkboard.
yeah,
And because a lot of times with stuff where it's like kind of like with the movie Coherence, where you have these really like complex sci-fi elements at play, but you don't see any of it really playing out. You're just seeing the characters piece it together.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they still don't really know what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at some of the interviews and some of the stuff from the director, and when the engine falls, they're like, the serial number matches the serial number. It's still on a plane. It's like, we don't know how it got here, but but the fact that it bled through, it was going to destroy that world unless it was made right.
Right.
So there was like a higher power that helped.
And
it's like, okay, well, what's that?
Yeah. It's Frank.
There's more questions.
Yeah, it's Frank.
When the vortex is forming above the house at the end.
Yeah.
And you see two types of criticism of this movie, and it's that because of what we just, as we were talking, man, we were like and trying to answer a question raises another question. People either enjoy that or they don't, and the people that don't see that as just a big mess of a film. And I mean, I disagree. I think it's just watch the fucking thing and just take what you're wanting out of it.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to because I mean, it's one of the few films that acknowledges time travel without breaking the movie with time travel.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And it's fun to like dive in every so often and go back into this world, because it is something that like every time I watch it, it just gets my fucking gears turning. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, think about it, man. If something happened to me right now, if a jet engine fell in on my room right now, like what is the positives that could come out of that, and also what is the negatives that could come out of that? You know what I mean? And nobody knows. Nobody knows like how like one person not being there anymore is gonna either make things better or make things worse, depending on the circumstances, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, has there been a movie like that before or since, like where it shows it play out like that, to where it's like, this is this man's world, this is this man's life, and this is what happens if he ends up surviving, and it's just bad for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
And then him realizing, like, I know what I need to do. Like, this is all going to collapse in on itself eventually. And I can make the decision to like walk away from it, or I can just take the D for the V, you know?
Yeah.
So,
like when you see him sitting on the car watching the plane fly over.
Yeah.
See the piece fall.
Mm-hmm.
Then it cuts to him on his bed laughing.
Yeah.
And it's like, huh?
It's because he knows.
And he's just giggling.
Yeah.
We were a stupid bunny suit.
And I think that like that goes back into the dream thing, because like I think in that moment, like after his mom leaves and they have that situation between one another about not taking his pills and all that kind of stuff, I feel like he fell asleep in that moment, and like all of that played out as a dream for everybody, but like he remembers everything, like every aspect of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because like there wasn't anything that took him back. You see the tangent universe collapsing in on itself, but like we don't see everything being annihilated or sucked into that wormhole. So you have to assume that either that happens or everybody just starts waking up whenever that happens, you know?
Yeah.
But nah, man, it was it's a great film, man.
Yeah, and when you talk about it being like, there's a lot going on, some people are like, it's a mess. That's exactly what happened with the Southland Tales.
Yeah.
When he released that, there's a lot going on there. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I just have to just watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like the time that it was released, word of mouth, Jake Gyllenhaal becoming who he became, I think that help the movie in a massive way. I think that if this movie was released today, it would probably be good, but would word of mouth be able to carry it like it did
Well,
20
I
years
think
ago?
I think the biggest problem this movie had was that it came out in a time period where anything involving planes fucking up or crashing or shit like that, that was getting the chopping block, man, and it wasn't
Yeah,
getting a lot of spotlight.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So, I mean,
absolutely.
I think if it came out today, it'd probably bomb in the box office, but it would thrive on streaming.
Oh yeah, and it might not even make it to the box office.
It'd be a Netflix movie, dude.
Yeah. So
Not
it
that that's a
came.
bad thing, but it's just
Yeah, that's just where it would wind up,
but one would have to consider since if it came out now, it wouldn't have had the impact it had for the past 20 years on film
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
you can't deny that the movies like certain elements of this movie have been replicated a little bit.
yeah,
I
and you could. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I've seen several people that are in filmmaking now that credit that to this movie.
Yeah,
It made them want to be a filmmaker.
yeah, absolutely. And you can even see it ripple through. Like, I mean, this is like a film about an alternate universe, a multiverse. I mean, the ripples from this and what they were able to do with it, it's gone all the way through to mainstream at
Well,
this point.
two films that stand out to me the most that feel like they're influenced by Donnie Darko is Primer and Coherence.
Yeah,
And while they're their absolute own stories, whatever, the way they go about slipping that sci-fi element in is very similar, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. Coherence was. I need to go back and watch that again, but I haven't seen Primer. We need to do that on the pod sometime.
It's a great time travel movie.
Yeah,
Indy is fucked.
I mean that's all right. I'm down with the indie. I don't care if it's The Last Crusade. I don't care if it's Crystal Skull. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
down with the indie. But yeah, man. I mean, I remember the first time that Adam watched this because I watched it after we talked about it that night. I went back and watched it again so that we could have an in more informed conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it had been a little while since I'd watched it, and we talked about it for like 3 days, 3 or 4 days straight about all the shit. Because there's a lot of shit happening here, but the way that it all comes together, it's like a fucking puzzle, dude.
Yeah.
Puzzle piece, puzzle pie, you know? So,
Yeah. I wish I had watched it earlier, but
yeah.
just like Southland Tales, I thought it was gonna be
Yeah.
a dud.
I mean, Richard Kelly, like all his movies have kind of more or less like they haven't really flopped, but they haven't been money makers. You know
Yeah.
what I
Well, he
mean?
definitely makes like the movie he wants to make.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I really wish that he would get
And
back into the seat.
well, that's a very commendable thing with directors
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You know, like being very uncompromising in their vision and everything. And sometimes hearing that criticism and making those changes works, but sometimes, you have directors that are like, "No, this is how I want it, this is how it's gonna be." And it seems like Kelly got to have that when he
Yeah.
made these and, you know, there's definitely a need for not necessarily the next Donnie Darko movie, but there's definitely a need out there for more films like this
Yeah.
Yeah.
where and it doesn't even have to be like I said Donnie Darko-esque. It just movies where the director is like they lay it on the table
Yeah.
and they go make what you want of it.
Yeah.
They kind of go against the grain of like
Yeah.
Hollywood. It's like, no, we're not changing it.
But Could one argue though that going against the grain is the most Hollywood thing one could do if you're trying to be a legitimate, like, cut your teeth top director?
I mean, that's what everybody wants to do is leave their mark, right? So, and how better to leave your mark than,
Makes it put some
and
weirdness out there.
yeah. And that's another thing too. I think it might have been on the Southland Tales or the box episode, but anyway, we were talking about, Richard Kelly is wanting to dive back into the Donnie Darko universe at some point,
Mm-hmm.
Um, I definitely feel like, first of all, how does Roberta Sparrow know about all this shit? Because she
Yeah.
was a nun, and then they said overnight. So did she experience the same thing?
Well, her and the book were the MacGuffin, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. But at the same time, like, if you're going to expand on the world, then what more could you expand on other than that plot point?
Well, if they expanded on it anymore, man, it would start to mess with the atmosphere of the film, I would think.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
I agree.
it would go from that vagueness that's keeping you there, and it's like the movie definitely pays off by not having an insane, if hardly any exposition.
Yeah,
So did
It's
y'all
just
yeah.
ever
that
see the other one?
just that loose thread. Oh, sadly, yes.
I know he
Nah, I
didn't
never watched.
direct it. So the characters, of course, they're based on his characters, but I've never seen it.
It's fucking
I just
awful.
kind of figured it
Pass.
was that because he didn't
Yeah,
direct it.
man. Well, I mean, when it came out, I was excited for it at the time. I fell for the viral marketing. I thought it was cool. Like,
Yeah.
I want to say it was one of the first movies I remember where like it had a heavy marketing presence on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense. It was around 2009, so that makes sense.
yeah.
Um, when it came out, found a copy, popped it in, thinking, all right, man, let's keep it going and see what Frank's up to.
Yeah. I just read the
And
synopsis. It's
it's very,
yeah.
it tries to basically tell the same movie as Donnie Darko, but with his sister
Yeah. It's the little
and with
sister.
yes,
I know
it
she was the
goes
voice of
it
Lilo
it's
on Lilo
it's
and
so
Stitch.
many. It takes
No.
place. I think it takes place like a few years after the events, and
Uh huh. Yeah, it
it
says
picks
her and
up
her
shit with
best
her.
friend are on a cross country trip, and they soon find themselves entangled in a dangerous glitch in the time space continuum. I'm like, that sounds like an episode of Doctor Who, man. Ooh-wee.
I mean, it would have still sucked either way, whether it had the Darko name on it
Yeah,
or not. But I
it's almost
think,
like they had a script and they were like, you know what this kind of sounds like? Donnie Darko. So why don't we connect it to that?
yeah,
That's going
but
with the grain.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It was definitely an unexpected like sequel milking
yeah,
that I didn't think a film like that would get. I figured you'd get like a tried and true sequel
hmm,
Yeah,
where it has some sort of relevance, some sort of shit matters, but it wasn't. It fell
yeah.
flat for me.
Kelly has nothing to do with it other than the characters. Crazy how a studio can do that.
Well, kind of the
yeah.
same way with Troy, what's his name that does the Boondock
Oh
Saints.
yeah,
Well,
Troy
well,
Duffy.
wait, never mind, because he was hands on with the sequel. Never mind.
Yeah, he wrote and directed it, I'm pretty sure.
Well, fucking letdown. But anyway,
Yeah. But I'm giving it a full star, man.
yeah, my good.
This is this has been one of my favorite films since I watched it, and it still continues to be one of my favorites.
Yeah, full star.
sure, I'll give it bunny ears.
I mean, incredible, But Moon Knight,
Uh huh.
Hmm.
whoa.
Speaking of schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How like sad though.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it
I
was
What a
coming to that.
what a way to make you give a shit about someone who ain't real.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
really isn't real.
yeah.
How meta.
I loved how they like how this is what I was thinking. This is what I couldn't help but think. It's like Iron Man, you get his origin story. He was involved in a fucking bombing. He's
Yeah.
got shrapnel. He builds a suit. He decides he wants to save the world. You got Captain America, who's gets injected with a super soldier serum. He gets frozen in a block of ice. He's a superhero. You know, you get fucking Black Panther,
Yeah.
who became Black Panther by contest and birthright. You know, like you have these,
They wanted to be a hero, so they became a hero.
yeah, basically. But then you have Moon Knight, who like became a hero because he needed to become a hero. But
No,
what?
he wa he's a hero who wasn't aware he was a hero.
Yeah, exactly. But like the circumstances of him becoming that person, like his origin story was on full display, and I like how they spent more time showing his upbringing more than actually him becoming Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Because like I said,
Well,
man, it's
it did something better. It showed you why Khonshu picked him.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. How fucking devastating was that shit where he was like, "You took the beatings for me."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and he told him, he's like, "You were supposed to be happy. You're the one that like you got along with your mother and all this
Yeah.
kind of stuff." Like that. How fucking heartbreaking is that shit?
Dude, as soon
And
as
it's
they
just,
went in that cave, I knew where this was going. I was like, oh no.
yeah,
Well, Steven
yeah,
was his happy place.
yeah. And I get it, man. Like you see that happen in in households where you have abusive parents, where you have siblings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not something that's ever brought up or talked about between the siblings. It's just the reality of the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Or it could just be that the writing team was listening to Disturbed when they were writing the show and just adapted down with the sickness. And yeah, sells itself.
yeah. But nah, man, it was a fucking phenomenal episode. The way that being on that ship
That was cool.
in the sea of fucking souls, dude.
Yeah.
Wow, you know?
When he was fighting them and they were just falling apart.
The
Yeah.
The
fucking
sand.
it was like a Dragon Force music video meets a Megadeth song.
Yeah, exactly, right.
When he hit that first dude, I was like, the boy's got sand.
Yeah. Yeah. But
I mean, how they're able to make us give a shit about a schizophrenic human being in the afterlife on a ship
Yeah.
navigated by a hippo going across the dune.
yeah.
Like
You know,
technically a
like,
bad guy too. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, like he's a
you saw how
murderer.
many people
Like,
he killed.
That was
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
um,
Who are all these people, Mark?
I hope that he's not gone. Like him
I
falling off like that and then the scales set, it was like,
well, there's
oh, he's
still
whole
some
again. Like,
there's still shots from the show trailers of Mr. Knot that we haven't seen yet.
yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm thinking we'll probably get him back.
I
Which
mean, he's still
it would
fucked
be
up.
it would be interesting if okay, Mark's at the Field of Reeds right now,
Yeah.
and in order for it, like it's one of those things where it's like you're here, you're whole, you're yourself, like you finally made it to the end. He's like, I got shit to do. Send me back, and they're like, well, if we send you back, like you're gonna be shattered again. You're gonna have to figure out how to work together. And he's like, oh, we'll work together.
Yeah.
And
Bet.
so when they put him back in the real world, he's gonna split back into Steven and him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna moon knot the fuck up and fucking kick serious ass, probably.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that was it because it's the moment where Steven stands up for himself
Yeah.
that fixes everything.
Yeah.
once he fights back, he,
Yeah.
accepts it.
Yeah.
Or
He's like, well,
what would be
if
cool?
he's me, I'm him.
Yeah,
And then
like
he
that.
starts
Like he
kicking ass. It's
technically,
like, okay.
yeah, like I mean, yeah, and I mean, you just made a great point, Adam. Like that. Like Steven didn't die. He just watched the physical embodiment die. Like he's
Yeah.
still Steven. He is Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm me.
Yeah. Well, and that raises that question. It's like, okay, he's got multiple personalities, all this shit's going on. What constitute a soul? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, they like, is a soul like part of your physical body? Is it your personality? Is it what is it about you? And is Steven has his own soul and Mark have his own soul? Or are they both part of the same soul? And if
Well,
so, then
well,
they didn't
that's
take shit, you know?
we also got to think too. Like theoretically, in the Marvel universe, you have a soul because the ancient one tends to knock it out of you.
Yeah.
I know it's astral projecting and blah blah blah, but I mean that's his
Yeah. I
fucking
mean, the
soul.
soul stone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're souls.
So I mean, he's got soul, but he ain't a soldier,
Yeah.
man. So,
Now I just
Bring
see
it
him
full
walking
circle.
to the camera.
Yeah.
If they
Yeah.
didn't run that as a music video for that song, they fucked
Yeah.
up.
I know,
That
right?
should have been the music video for that song.
Yeah.
but
What the
here's
fuck is Timberlake doing?
but here's my thing. I want to see what the Amit suit looks like for him because once again, and you brought it up with the Iron Man uh debacle that you were talking about. You know, it's still holding true. Every Marvel hero's first villain's always their mirror opposite,
Yeah.
and so I'm waiting for, of course, them to shatter the whole illusion that dude's a psychiatrist, and
Yeah.
we're gonna see him suit up in his black sunsuit, and we're gonna have the Moon Knight. So,
Yeah.
but what's gonna be really interesting is how is Khonshu gonna come back? Are they gonna break him out of the statue, or are the gods gonna realize that they fucked up because Amit? Because
Yeah.
the whole thing with Ethan Hawke's whole moment with the doctor's office and stuff, I think that's in the here and now. He's won. He's pulled some God Emperor Doom shit where
Yeah.
he's like, shit's the way I want it to be.
Yeah.
And in the weird, heady way that they've introduced this episode, Moon Knight's gonna fight and correct that shit.
Yeah.
And maybe the last power play that the gods are like, man, we really need somebody who can rewind some shit. And Khonshu's like, I can do more than rewind stars, motherfuckers, if you just let me out.
I can rewind it.
Who needs the time stone when you've got this dope ass staff, you know?
Yeah. Fucking dope ass staff for sure, dude. But yeah, man, it was such a great fucking episode. And every episode's been good. Here's what I'm excited about more than anything. Like the last episode, right, is coming out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I'm more excited of it coming out, watching it, and then rewatching all of it in one swoop.
Yeah.
You know?
See what you missed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. Because I know I missed some stuff.
There's a lot
There's
going on,
no,
especially in that the one before
Well,
this last one we watched.
yeah,
That one had a
I did
lot.
see, I saw the article that went around today where they have since changed the marketing of series finale for the show to season finale.
Mhm.
And it's sparking
Oh
rumors
yeah.
that it's not a one and done.
Ain't no
So
way.
nah, dude.
Not after this reaction. They
it
would be
seemed to be it's the most
foolish to.
action oriented that I've
Yeah.
seen since Loki.
Oh yeah, dude, the
Yeah,
fighting, the guns. I was like, some of those when he was fighting and they were shooting at him and all that stuff. I was like, this is like fucking
Well, I mean, in terms of
crazy
also,
for
yeah,
Disney. Like,
that is what just the constant change in scenery.
oh
Like
yeah,
like don't get me wrong, those first couple episodes yo-yoed between the museum, his apartment, and the streets. But then once the wife issue got settled and put in motion, they're just all over the place. Like they're in Egypt and
yeah,
they're Big set pieces though, for
Yeah,
sure.
real
Like
Yeah.
you're
nice.
saying, like, they like Disney dropped some dollars on this.
Yeah. Disney dollars, dude.
I
But
can't wait to
yeah.
Uh,
see the next
I
episode.
I feel like this show was also a prototype with how they're going to be able to combine the non-family friendly Marvel with the established family friendly Marvel, because this show has explored some really
Yeah, it's TV
mature.
14.
It's explored mature topics that not every demographic's cut out for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not in terms of that it's like vulgar, I guess, but more in like the concept of like someone like a small child's not going to get invested about a schizophrenic character.
No.
Now, granted, they make Steven be the comic relief and be silly and here, that, and the other. But for the most part, you're dealing with cults. You've got schizophrenic people. You've got the main character being a mercenary who gets confronted with his own body count. Like, just a lot of stuff that I'm very surprised Disney is greenlighting.
Yeah. Gives me hope, man.
I mean, I hope. I mean, it would be nice for Disney to just throw the money, make the money, and stay the fuck out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Fuck off. No, I'm just playing.
I mean, step in and do. Hey, we're Disney guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't decapitate a
Yeah, I was
motherfucker and show
thinking that.
blood
Don't cut
spurting.
nobody's head off on camera,
But like,
please.
but like, hey,
But you
if
could
the hero
suggest
wields
it.
if the hero wields a gun, let
Yeah.
the motherfucker shoot a Uzi.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Well, this gives you hope for like Deadpool.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like
Ghost
Well,
Rider.
they've
Punisher.
even done a rework here where they've reworked some of the shows. Like some of those Netflix series that they've put up. They've put them under a different category. Like,
Well, I mean, it would be it with Deadpool. It would be fucking hilarious if they let the on-running joke for a while be, because like obviously what we're gonna get when we first have Deadpool in the Disney verses, it's gonna be him trying to kill people, and either they're gonna just keep using Colossus or they're gonna have whoever he shows up with in the crossover. Just imagine them trying to stop the bad guy, but the main hero is trying to keep Deadpool from killing him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much funny shit you could have out of that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And have like, have him, riffing on Disney.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
definitely
And
gonna
then
make fun of Disney.
and then finally when his movie drops, you have something where he's just like, God fucking damn it. And he kind of flinches like he's waiting for the censors. He's like,
Yeah.
wait, what? Yeah, stay the fuck out of my movie, and then keep going, like just some funny play stuff with that, man. Funny play.
But yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for what they do in the future, and I mean, it's crazy that they didn't have, or it's crazy that the last episode is coming out the Wednesday before one of the
Yeah.
most anticipated Marvel you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Leads right
Crazy.
into it.
Yeah. So I wonder if they'll have anything. I mean, how nutty would that be?
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
considering how on point and how tightly knit Marvel stuff is now, it would be interesting if we still get resolution to Moon Knight's plot, but we just have that moment where he's gonna start off on the next adventure or be
yeah.
like, all right, I'm gonna have to go here. And the minute he does, some timey-wimey shit happens, and like you're like, oh fuck, the strange shit's
That's
bleeding
the lead
over.
in right at the ass end.
yeah,
Maybe like maybe a credit clip.
yeah,
Something.
yeah,
That'd be
right.
fun.
Or I would love it if they tied Moon Knight in with Eternals,
Yeah.
where Mark's doing some
I think him and the
Stephen
Black
Grant
Knight are
shit.
gonna be together at some point, right? I mean,
Well, yeah, we'll have like a moment where he's doing shit, and then someone comes up to him and says, I know your focus is ancient Egypt or whatever, and then he drops down some shit, and we're like, oh, that's some eternal shit, and it's like, what do you know about Celestials? And it cuts off,
yeah. You know nothing, Jon Snow.
I wonder if I think this would be something that would be interesting, but like, Mark and Steven can see Khonshu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and Khonshu's a god, and Thor's technically a god.
Mm-hmm.
What if Thor can see him? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, there's this weird god code.
Yeah.
He's like, "What the fuck is this all about?" It's like, I don't want to talk about it.
So would Thor have an avatar after he died? Could he if he wanted to?
I don't know. Odin died, and he didn't have an
He
avatar
came
that
back
we
though.
know of.
Didn't he
I
like
don't know.
speak to him somehow?
Yeah,
You gotta remember, they're tied to Valhalla. That's where they go when they
Oh
die.
yeah.
yeah. They go
They're
sit at
bound.
the
It's like
grand
check
They're
it
table.
bound
out.
to a realm. Well, dude, did you guys notice the Black Panther reference in Moon Knight when Taweret's talking to them about all these different realms,
Yeah,
and she goes, "You should go to the ancestral realm. It's amazing. That's the fucking realm where Chala goes to fucking drink the shit and trip out and talk to his dad."
yeah,
And that tree with all the fucking different panthers looming on it, like that's what that
yeah.
plane is. That's what she was referencing.
That Lion King sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah. All that touches the light belongs to us.
She was talking about how beautiful it was and everything, and like it's cool to see other characters that are so in the know about how the universe works in this franchise that like you have moments where like stuff that's a big deal to us if we see it, they're
Yeah.
just like, oh yeah, that's cool. I fucking went there on vacation last year.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
like that dead
Uh,
celestial man when they're all. It's like, does anybody not see this? There's a
yeah,
fucking
I'm
head coming
waiting
out of
on
the
that to
ground.
get addressed. Yeah, man. That's why I'm
Like,
wondering if we'll get something
well,
eventually.
remember
And
at the
that's the
end
thing.
when he shows up and he's like, "I'll fucking be back," and it's like,
yeah,
the whole world saw that. The
yeah. What
whole
the
world.
fuck? Yeah, yeah, man. I don't know.
You know,
You know?
it would have been interesting if that was something as well, where, you know, maybe it could get addressed in a Doctor Strange film. Like nobody remembers it because Strange perfected the memory spell that he fucked up with Spider-Man and just fucking Men in Black, neuralized everybody to it. Like they don't need to be going through that kind of shock. Like let the
No,
heroes let the heroes have the trauma. Let the fucking normal
Yeah, that's
folks
not for us,
live.
Slick.
yeah.
Yeah. You're not
Well,
ready for that, mate? Make your
well,
head
these,
explode.
I mean, these motherfuckers just came back from a 5-year fucking hiatus of not existing, and then a fucking something that's heads larger than our planet is going to
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
show up.
There's already a level of trauma that half of the life on Earth is going through, which WandaVision still has the best fucking shot of like the reverse snap.
Yeah,
Because it just
Oh
shows you
yeah, that
how
was so
fucked
cool.
up everything was, man. Like everybody's warping back into the fucking office, the
Yeah,
hospitals and shit. Like it would be chaos if that happened, and I like that they showed us that they're like we're not lost on it. That's a ridiculous thing, yeah, because it was ridiculous. Here's the
yeah,
shot to show you.
right. Well, y'all want to hit on some movie news real quick?
hell yeah.
I got a couple of titty bits here. So John Woo will direct English language remake of his own action flick, The Killer. So it says further details regarding the remake are scarce, but with John Woo at the helm, we can safely assume that this version of The Killer will adhere quite closely to the 1989 original. Written and directed by John Woo, the original The Killer starred Chow Yun Fat, Danny Lee, and Sally Ye, and follows Chow as an assassin named Ah Zhang. After accidentally damaging the eyes of a singer, Jenny, during a shootout, Ah Zhang decides to take on one last highly dangerous job in order to pay for surgery that will save the singer's sight. It's one of John Woo's best known movies, particularly where Western audiences are concerned, with the critically acclaimed action outing demonstrating many of Woo's patented visual moves. Showing off his creative flair, The Killer is full of chaotic, kinetic, violent action sequences, stylized choreography, so called Mexican standoffs, and slow motion. So expect a lot of these to make the transition from the original to the remake. The killer has had a huge influence on action movies ever since, even influencing the likes of Tarantino and Rodriguez.
I mean, dude, I like Chow Yun Fat as an actor. I like some of the older movies he was in.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think Bulletproof Monk was his downfall,
I
but
mean, you know,
you know,
you got to
you
have
can
one.
well, I mean,
Mm,
most all all martial arts stars they have these really incredible filmographies where you have these movies
yeah,
with ridiculous stunts, uh fantastic choreography, like it's just very like brutal fights to over the top stunts, and it just keeps going and going and going and going. And then it's like, let's do comedy. How about
yeah,
comedy? Let's make people laugh. And it's like, uh, but you're good at jumping off a fucking skyscraper onto a helicopter and fucking making that shit look easy, dude.
yeah.
Face Off.
It's interesting. Yeah, and it's interesting that they're gonna have, John Woo, which, I mean, to be fair, he probably, he wrote and directed it. He probably has shut down so many, English or, Western remakes of this film, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
Well,
he's
it'll be cool to see what he wants to do to improve on a movie he's already had a final say on. Because I feel like
yeah,
that's waters directors normally don't try to go and tread.
yeah. Well, and it's been what, 30 years?
If anything, it's gonna be better. I mean, and I'm not saying because it's English language, but just because the resources
the
at
quality.
at the
Yeah,
yeah, at his disposal now. Like he's gonna be able to really make uh and
yeah, that was in
with his
'89,
name behind
so
it, I mean, Wu's not only done a ton of films, he's executive produced them. I mean, he's popular in a lot of video game stories that's put
yeah.
together. Like, I mean, he's all over the place. And so it'll be cool to see how this pans out for him.
Well, they kind of
Yeah,
brought him over in the '90s, and he did like Broken Arrow, Face Off. He made
yeah,
a bunch of big budget. He can handle some money. Mission Impossible,
yeah,
bunch of damn '90s movies. Like,
yeah.
I've never seen that movie though. I have to check it out.
Yeah, I've never seen it either. We
Uh,
should pod it, man.
I'm gonna say, should we let's hold off till it
Yeah,
drops
well, when the other
and
one comes out, we could do another.
we
Was
dust
it
off the
worth
old
it?
was it worth it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm DT Dub, you know what I'm saying? Both.
He stayed busy over the years. Not as busy as he used to be, but I
Yeah.
mean, he did a movie in 2017, and he's filming something right now called Silent Night.
Well, he's comfy busy,
Yeah,
like when you get past the thirsty part of your career and you're like, I do what I want now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Got fuck you money.
Yeah. It's nice money to have, you
Yeah,
know. Next up here, Wonder Twins movie has reportedly been canceled ahead of production.
but they just
So
casted it
I
a
know,
week
right?
ago.
Yeah. So HBO Max may not be moving forward with the Wonder Twins after all. Back in February, it was reported that I'm not even going to try, had been tapped by Warner Brothers to direct a live action movie for HBO Max based on the Wonder Twins. Temple Hill's Marty Bowen and Wick Godfrey were also signed on to produce, and it was announced just last month that KJ Appa and Isabel May would be starring as the superhero siblings. According to the hashtag show, or that hashtag show, a new update on the project brings some bad news for those involved. Cast and crew were reportedly informed that the Wonder Twins has been shelved with no clear reason given for why it's suddenly been canceled. The apparent plan was for shooting to begin in Atlanta on July the 5th, and the cancellation news comes as the filmmakers were still in the process of fleshing out the rest of the cast. The recent Warner Brothers Discovery merger is cited as a possible reason for the cancellation, but nothing has been confirmed. I mean, do we need Wonder Twins?
I mean, not really.
I
I
mean,
I
think
they
they
think
did a
filmed,
it's
good thing here by.
yeah,
I mean, they were getting it together, and it was just like, this is not going to be good. So let's
yeah,
just pull the plug on this.
yeah. I mean,
Smart.
there's so many DC properties that they haven't even considered touching. The last thing that I want to see as a fan of the DC universe is the Wonder
Yeah, I think
Twins.
the internet said the same thing.
As a fan of the DC universe, I kind of wish cinematically they just go away for a little while. Uh, get their shit together, get their marbles in the right bags and stuff, and then just try this again. Pick up with the stories and continuity that's established, but move forward in a more efficient manner and a more coherent manner.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And
Because I don't know how much more of this subpar bullshit I can handle.
yeah. And I get that, man. And the thing is like, okay, so if they really wanted to, we've got um Aquaman 2 coming out, we've got Black Adam, and we've got Flashpoint coming out, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
Well, push the date on Flashpoint out because I mean, Flashpoint in the comics reset everything, and it caused all the different DC universes to like merge together and everything. Just call that the stopping point for feature films, at least, you know. And
I
yeah,
mean,
like
and that would be the most like comic book reference thing ever. You have a world that's just completely all this crazy shit's going on. We have a known timeline where the big bad has shown up and is using the world's best hero against the world.
yeah,
Doom and gloom, all this stuff. What better way than to pull from Crisis on Infinite Earths, combine it with the Flashpoint, and like you said, have it to where Barry just has to exert so much energy to fix this shit that he dies in the process.
Yeah, because that
And
character's got to go. At least that actor.
yeah,
and
yeah,
and have it to where, the movie ends with Barry Allen's death at the sacrifice of the multiverse to save everyone. And as the movie concludes, you have that moment where people are just like, man, he prevented some, like give him an Iron Man death,
yeah,
give him a funeral, have Superman there, like and be like, damn it, he was one of the best, reference the Snyder cut shit,
yeah,
and then just have it to where it's like, will the world be ready if something crazy happens again, and just have fucking Ben Affleck step out from the side and it's like, you bet your ass will be ready.
yeah,
The down but not out fucking cut to black cliffhanger that can be a stopping point, and everybody just be like, all right, let's figure out how like let's fix this shit.
yeah. No, I agree, man. And it would really be nice if they would do something about it. But I mean, I don't think it's gonna happen.
Oh, of course not, man.
I mean, they're wanting money. They want money in a big way. And like it's so fucked. They have all the properties together. They have everything that they need to be successful.
Yeah, they don't even have any of the rights of any of the property rights issues that Marvel has had to
Yeah,
go through.
and look how
And yet
well they're
Marvel's still
doing.
been able, like, it's not a matter of what was better or worse, but it's just the fact that their means of production is a hell of a lot more
Yeah.
efficient than Sony's.
Yeah.
Or not
Oh
Sony,
yeah.
but Warner Brothers.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But on the heels of that news, Amber Heard rumored to have heavily reduced screen time in Aquaman 2.
Wonder why.
Unfortunately for her, there are millions of people that aren't on her side. A popular petition to have her fired from Aquaman 2 has soared past 2.7 million signatures. And at the rate it's going, it won't be long before it hits the 3 million mark, which I think it's surpassed by now. That's a lot of people that are clearly unhappy about Heard's continued involvement in the film, and that may end up having a significant impact on ticket sales. While the studio's already wrapped filming, perhaps the compromise was to almost remove Heard from the film.
So
Film,
for posterity, since this is not only live, but it's been recorded and documented. Uh, I don't know the full details on the Amber Heard shit. So do either of you guys have any
Well,
way of
it
doing
ain't
a quick
looking good for her
rundown?
in court right now. I mean,
no,
her case just fell apart, dude. They're like everything that it's a defamation case now that they're doing here. They had the case. Was it in England? I don't know where they had it, but there was one overseas somewhere where she first went in on him. I don't know where, but
yeah,
now he's
No,
he's taking
no,
her to court for
him, of
defamation,
course,
dude. He
being Johnny
lost.
Depp, right?
He lost $22 million off that Pirates movie because of stuff
yeah,
that she said, which has turned out not to be true.
yeah, yeah. She's crazy.
If you like, it's insane how much media attention her case with him has gotten.
Yeah.
Like it's almost OJ level.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen the
What,
clips
what
like
was
on
what
YouTube.
was what was the movie uh where all throughout it keeps cutting to a court case on TV and it's
Cable
Ben
Guy.
Stiller? Yeah. It's almost like we're living through Cable Guy and that's the case that's popping up on the screen like all the time and shit.
Yeah.
yeah,
The clips have been great, dude. They had one witness that was a lot of people are like calling in with video
yeah.
to give their part. This was a driver. Dude, he's driving while answering questions and vaping. And even the judge
Wow.
is like, that's a first for me. I have never. And then Johnny Depp's just laughing. It's been a fucking. I mean, that's the
It
thing, though. I
should.
don't think she realized. Well, he comes up there, and like, you watch any interview with Johnny Depp, you like him.
Yeah,
You're like, I like this guy. And now, one of the things in the defamation case was like, when you're an actor like that, you need a certain level of privacy.
yeah,
Got to be this mystique about you. They try to keep it that way.
Oh, that's
All
all
that went
gone
out the
now.
window, and until when it's her fault.
yeah,
That was even something they included in their case. Like, his life's an open book right now, and he managed to keep it closed his
yeah,
whole career.
yeah.
I mean,
But
dude, she was
now,
doing shit like when they first got together. Whenever he would come in, oh, dude, he said she would come over, pull his boots off, give him a massage, hand him a glass of wine. She was laying it on thick, and
yeah,
he's like, and then we got married, and it just
one away.
changed. I
Yeah,
got played.
yeah. I mean, shit. Players gonna play. You know what I'm
Yeah, I mean,
saying?
you don't hate the player, hate the game.
Can't.
But she's
So
been
so
cut
how
down to
much?
less than 10 minutes in that movie. Is the
And so
Yeah.
I mean, can we say this is arguably going to be what tanks her career? Well, I mean, is
I'm,
it one of those things where she's probably going to get
she's getting a lot of negative press, like
some
a
negative
lot.
press for a while? She's going to go away, and then she's going to come back with that role that makes you forget about it.
Dude, there is no one on her side.
no.
That's how bad it is. No one. The people that are gathering outside the courtroom are screaming at her when she comes out. Dude, she took a shit on the side of his bed and blamed it on
Yep.
the dogs. And he was like, I'm not a human feces. He's over here like, that's not dog shit. That's a human turd. He called it a grumpy. But
I mean,
they played all the clips. Damn, dude, she damn near severed the tip of his finger.
yeah, dude.
Like,
Yeah.
she was crazy.
I listened to some of those clips where they're arguing and stuff, and
Yeah.
he's just like, she's like, "You're always fucking running away," and he's like, "I'm just trying to like get a fucking away
Yeah,
from
I
the
don't want to
situation
fight.
for a minute. Yeah, I don't want to argue or fight. I'm just trying to get away from the fucking situation."
She wanted it,
And
though.
yeah,
She liked it. You could tell, like,
it's
just.
fucking yeah.
She's going to
It's
be in some trouble, man, because she's only worth like $8 million. And he's probably going to be owed. Now, if he wins, he may let her off and like, all right, we're done.
Yeah,
Now I got my career back.
yeah,
But if she owes any money, she'd be working the rest of her life to pay for it. Like,
yeah. So, but yeah, she's been cut down to less than 10 minutes of screen time for Aquaman 2, which is going to be coming out in 2023 now. They delayed it, of course, because of the pandemic and everything. So, I mean, they're not cutting her out completely. I'm
yeah,
sure that she has some part that she has to fulfill, but
yeah.
they're shoehorning
They're like, she
her
can't just
in
go
and out.
missing. It's like, yes, she can. The bitch can drown.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Well, she can breathe
outside of the water.
underwater.
Like if
Yeah.
she comes out, she'll
Yeah.
die, right? Too
Let's just
long,
let
or
Dark,
can they
just
do
let
that?
Dark, just let
They
Darkseid show up looking for
Okay.
the mother boxes again, and just straight up, just like Omega beams her ass.
see and like we saw this happen before where like they'll cast somebody mid franchise, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We saw the same thing happen in Batman, the Nolan
Iron
Batman
Man,
flicks. Yeah, Iron
which
Man.
is
I
like,
mean,
whoa, you replaced a main character. Like
yeah, right.
that dude
So,
wanted more money. They were like, get the fuck out of here, man. I'm in my
I
mode,
mean, Don,
man.
Hustle and
uh,
flow out the dough, bud.
yeah, but but if they end up revisiting the Snyderverse, which may or may not, there's
Well, they
some
can't.
interest.
Well, here's the thing: if they continue on with Jason Momoa, that's the Snyderverse. There's the you cannot pull some ass like you can't have an ass pull of like, oh, he's an Aquaman in another dimension. We're just not going to acknowledge all that shit. They have to. They have to, or there's
Yeah,
going to
but
be
she
a
don't have
major
to be dead.
continuity error. Oh, of course. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
Yeah.
her. They can write that out. But I mean, a lot like the more
Oh yeah,
the more you
dude.
think about it,
This
the
is the
Aquaman,
Snyderverse. I get what you're
yeah,
saying. Yeah,
the Aquaman's a continuation of that. So
it
the
is.
Snyderverse isn't dead as long as this particular franchise is going.
yeah. Because at the end of the Snyder cut of Justice League, when it shows the nightmare sequence again, she's one of the survivors.
She
Yeah,
was.
so something's gonna have to change to where maybe Arthur Curry doesn't die.
I mean, they could just get rid of that bitch. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
Or I mean, or that could be if they ever came back with some shit like that. They could have it where, pick the movie up in the middle of just like just pick right up where Superman landed.
yeah,
Have them start fighting the motherfucker, and he grabs her first, snaps her fucking neck, burns her fucking skull off, just throws her off like a rag doll, and they're like, we gotta get the fuck out of here.
Ragdoll living in a movie.
Please don't.
Next up here, so John Watts was chosen as director for Fantastic Four. He is no longer the director for Fantastic Four. So it says the arrival of the Fantastic Four in the MCU is one of the most anticipated future projects currently on Marvel Studios' radar. While it has been hinted that the third big screen iteration of the superhero team could be arriving as early as the end of 2023, the film has now had a setback with the departure of John Watts as director. Having had a hugely successful Marvel run with Spider Man No Way Home, there were many people happy to have Watts in charge of the reinvention of the Fantastic Four, but it seems that was not meant to be. As the first Fantastic Four movie under the Disney banner, Watts was expected to dive straight into the movie, but it seems that having worked on all three MCU Spider-Man movies, he wants to take a break from directing for a while. Although it is not unheard of for the directors to leave production for on-set arguments and creative differences, this is one of the rare times that there really is nothing sensational behind the decision. So this is what he had to say about it. This is what Watts said. Making three Spider Man films was an incredible and life changing experience for me. I'm eternally grateful to have been part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe for 7 years. I'm hopeful we'll work together again, and I can't wait to see the amazing vision for Fantastic Four brought to life. And this is what Feige had to say about it. Collaborating with John on the Spider Man films has been a true pleasure. We were looking forward to continuing our work with him to bring the Fantastic Four into the MCU, but and understand and are supportive of his reasons for stepping away. We are optimistic that we will have the opportunity to work together again at some point down the road. So I mean, it's understandable.
I get
You
it.
know,
He's a little
like
burnout
I
on.
mean, that's 7 years of the man's
Yeah.
career that's been devoted to
yeah,
Marvel, and 7 years is a long time for a director.
yeah. Well, and not only that though, but think about it, man. Spider-Man, like Spider-Man No Way Home, they had no idea that that was gonna work out as well. I mean, I'm sure that they had thoughts that like,
Yeah.
"Hey, people are gonna," but what if
Coming off
on
of
the off
COVID
chance,
and
yeah, yeah,
just
but
everything.
on the off chance that it didn't work out that way, it would have fucking destroyed this dude.
I
You know
mean,
what I
dude,
mean?
when soul meets body, dude.
Yeah,
Y'all know
exactly,
he
right.
directed that music video, right?
Makes sense.
Pretty good.
Yeah. So I get it. Could you imagine, like, first of all, you've got Tom Holland, notorious for spoiling shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're having to work all these deals out with Sony, which he's not, I'm sure he's not involved in, but I'm sure that he put himself in that because,
He
like,
was he was probably uh there's probably countless days where he was having to sit around and wait on a fucking phone call to
yeah,
ensure whether he even still had a job.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I understand, man. Like, he wanted to take time off. 7 years is a long time. The stress that comes, like,
Oh man.
Spider-Man Spider-Man is one of the most recognizable and beloved superheroes on the planet, like,
It,
behind Batman and Superman, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, the stress that comes with that, you
Like you
know?
got to deliver
Yeah,
because you
and
saw
then
what people will do if the Spider-Man movie ain't the best.
oh,
We've
yeah,
witnessed it.
right.
Like it got it shut down.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's completely understandable, and look, I was looking forward to see John Watts do Fantastic Four because I
Yeah.
think that his filmmaking style and the personality that he injects into the films himself would have carried that a long way. But I mean, it's Marvel. They could
Yeah.
legitimately put a
A
fucking
rock.
frog,
Yeah.
yeah, in
well,
that fucking director seat, and it's gonna be
yeah.
good, you know?
Well, also you got to think as well, and John and Watts and Feige have both said it too. He did all three of those Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
He nailed, for good or bad, he nailed the parts that needed to be nailed in those three movies to make them work.
Yeah.
That being said, may not necessarily need his style for Fantastic Four.
No, no, definitely not.
And coming off of having to keep purely a Spider-Man aesthetic in his mindset, this I mean this could be a better opportunity this could be better news than bad news. Because now someone with a fresh perspective is going to be able to come in,
Yeah.
craft the Fantastic Four to have the look and feel that it deserves.
Yeah, and not
Like,
Spider-Man. You like,
because one frame of a Guardians movie, and you're like, fucking James Gunn.
Yeah.
yeah,
As far like, and you could put a damn slideshow together to be like, yep, Russo brothers.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, maybe I think it's a good thing that he stepped down. It sucks that a good director is not in the seat for Fantastic Four because, God knows the franchise needs that.
Yeah.
But, this is probably going to open up a better opportunity for maybe
somebody else to get
another
their
no name to
comeuppance. Yeah.
yeah, and make a big splash for it. So because whoever does get the director's seat for Fantastic Four, the heat's on for those guys.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it, like because it's gonna
Well,
be because
John has already proved himself,
yeah,
so
Yeah.
the
and I
heat's
mean,
gonna be on for some no name. Like,
and the Fantastic Four, whether or not they're the first people you think of anymore when you think of Marvel, they are, for a long time they were the crown jewel of the company,
Mhm.
and so that movie in particular is going to have even more scrutiny and be even more under the
yeah.
microscope, especially after the previous attempt to create the franchise.
Well, you're gonna have
Yeah.
those people that have already made their mind up. they know right now that when that movie comes out, they're not gonna like it
Yeah.
just because.
So yeah, and I mean, there's just a lot riding on it because the person who's doing this is going to be in charge of introducing, obviously, the Fantastic Four. They're probably going to be in charge of introducing Doctor Doom, which will arguably be one of the next biggest, like the big, crossover villain that everybody's got to deal with.
Yeah.
So it's definitely got its own pressure, and I can understand somebody like Watts going from his angle being like, all right, I'm gonna handle the poster boy from Marvel to the OG, like the OG team of Marvel.
Yeah.
Because the Fantastic Four was the first team, I believe, before all of it.
Hmm. Yeah. So it's definitely going to be something very interesting to watch play out. But they've got this,
Oh yeah.
all the faith, all the faith.
Because if I'm not mistaken, with the exception of the X-Men, the Fantastic Four are the last of the what I would call the A-list heroes that Marvel has to introduce.
Yeah.
I mean, there's way more in the catalog, of course, and I'm not, shitting on those characters, but as far as, you know, if you wanted a brief idea of the heroes of Marvel, they're on there, and I want to say we've gotten just about everybody else now.
Yeah.
It does show you. I feel like there's either a curse behind Fantastic Four or people are just scared to adapt it for whatever unknown reason. Because it's kind of crazy if you think about it that Moon Knight and Guardians and hell, even like characters like um God damn it, was at the tip of my tongue here. But yeah, these obscure characters that have already gotten screen time before them. Because you
Yeah.
can't really count those. You can't really count those older movies, man. They were what they were, but they're so just they're there.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they weren't Green Lantern awful in DC's ballpark, but they still weren't the best films ever. I mean, I remember the marketing for them was through the roof. Every fucking restaurant that had a kid meal fucking sold something.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see how it shakes out, man. But last up here, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 becomes the highest domestic grossing video game movie. So Sonic 2 topped 147 million at the start of this week and is still pulling in a couple of million a day. It will have passed the 149 million its predecessor ended on. There's no telling how much more the original Sonic the Hedgehog would have taken on top of that if it hadn't been for the pandemic. But Sonic 2 has already potentially been slightly hindered by the tail end of the pandemic as a counterbalance. Either way, Sonic 2 may now hold the domestic record, but it isn't likely to take over the worldwide box office title from Warcraft, which sits at 439 million. But that's still impressive that a Sonic the Hedgehog
Yeah.
movie, you
It,
know,
it's it's incredible that you know when you think about the OG platformer, most people tend to think of Mario. And we got the movie in the 90s. It was what it was. But to see Sonic go through its dark period, because after the Genesis era, sure there were still games being made and still are to this day, but the noise for Sonic got real quiet.
yeah,
And it's crazy that they pulled it off.
yeah,
So I mean, that's awesome it's awesome that we've been able to figure out certain formulas to make the video game movie work.
yeah, right.
Now, granted, the Sonic approach isn't going to work for other stuff, but it could for the more lighthearted, family-friendly characters
Like
out there. Like,
Chip and Dale's.
yeah.
The way they kind of doing that, with the same kind of style. Like it's just in this world.
I mean, now granted, it's a lesser known character or more obscure, not diminishing his fandom and his importance, but like I could see the Sonic formula working for Kirby,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
or
think that Mario movie is going to be good because they'll inject it with this.
oh, for
Oh, for
sure.
sure. Yeah.
And Mario, man, despite the Chris Pratt drama and shit,
Well,
I
people
think
just don't
Mario,
like him.
when that
That's what it
movie
is.
drops, it's gonna be fucking huge.
Every movie he's in gets flack because of him.
But I do
Yeah.
think that taking the CGI almost DreamWorks/Pixar approach was the absolute right move for
Yeah.
video game movies.
Yeah.
And maybe this is proving that maybe it's not that a movie based on a video game doesn't work. It's just that we just didn't have the proper, you know, technology to make these movies happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The right look.
Because movies like this, these are movies where the overuse of CGI, I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Because these are like, because like half of these movies is the spectacle of just how crazy the world was,
Yeah.
and it looks like they amped that up for this one. It looks like there's way more exotic locations than just Earth from the first one.
Yeah.
Like if Sonic 1 is like just let's just see if we can make Sonic work. And they were like, "Oh, it did. All right, fucking bring everyone in."
Yeah.
I'm hoping to watch this eventually. Sonic 2 and Sonic Knuckles were absolutely a staple of my childhood. So this
Yeah, for
will,
sure.
if I'm gonna get fucking cashed in on the nostalgia uh realm, it's definitely gonna be for this.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully that opens the door up for more video game adaptations, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I mean, that's the next really
Which
unexplored, uh, you know, adaptation. So
which speaking of video game movies and everything, something I noticed, man, that Resident Evil movie came and went like the guy who wasn't invited at the party but showed up anyway.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah, I have it, but I haven't watched it yet.
yeah, and I'm wondering if it's one of those things where, because my wife made the comment, and it's one that the three of us have all made before, and it's that one of the things that probably fucked the movie up was that people are burnt out on zombies, people are sick of The Walking Dead,
Yes.
yeah,
and even the most ardent of fan that's hanging in there right now. I know deep down that there's part of them that's like, I'm just ready for this goddamn story to be over.
yeah,
Like they're locked in, like, people are just like, I'm ready to get it over with so I can move on with my life.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't bail on many shows, man. A lot of, especially shows I like, I usually, you tough it
And
out.
it's
But I
incredible that
bailed
The
on it.
Walking Dead became that.
Yeah.
It's really incredible because you would have thought that this show, first off, wouldn't have lasted this long.
No, dude, they got greedy. They got
But you would
greedy.
have
and
because they're
lazy.
because I mean, dude, you can't argue that there is quality in there somewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it started out as slick and awesome as that fucking car that Glenn's hauling ass out of Atlanta in.
Yeah, dude.
And now we're in like this part where we're in the shitty Winnebago. The windows are blown the fuck out. The tires may not all
Well,
be the
like
right
shows just need to
size.
know, like, man, like Breaking Bad. What if it just went forever? Eventually, you'd have been like, all right, this isn't that good anymore.
Yeah,
Like, we're still going, you know? Dexter, it had to
I
end when it
remember
ended, like,
I I can't remember if we were doing the pod yet or not, but I remember one night we were all talking about The Walking Dead. And we were talking it was when they released the news that they had Walking Dead stories lined up for the next 10, 14 years, something like that. They worked some deal out with AMC or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't believe that that's still happened, and we're moving on to how many years now that Walking Dead's been in the mainstream?
Since like 2010, 2009.
So easily a decade.
Yeah.
Um, First off, when you're this far
Yep,
in, how do you
2010.
end it?
Well, you
How
know, they
like
got
how,
2 spinoffs.
because here's my thing. This is coming from somebody. I'm like 40 to 30 issues from completing the comic book run. And I put it on halt because in my mind it's like, man, there'll always be Walking Dead to read. But with the show, it's like, man, like, so I don't know the ending to the comics, and I've tried to keep it that way. But man, they need to wrap this show the fuck up, man.
Yeah, it's in its final season.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember Griffin. I mean, your statement still is as true as ever about the writing for The Walking Dead. It's just like an abusive husband,
Yeah.
fucks
Battered
everything up.
battered
Fucking
housewife.
fucking says, man, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna be better. And for a little bit, it's a little better. But then the
Dude,
same habits start happening.
11 seasons, 177 episodes.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's a
And I mean, dude,
lot, dude.
and I was on board with everybody when this show took off.
Oh, yeah.
So much so I have seasons 1 and 2 on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
Those
I
are
got, yeah.
amazing.
Well, dude, we
The
used to
Shane
watch The Walking Dead and then get together and talk about it before we ever did this.
Yeah.
the Shane, everything up to the prison was almost a panel for panel uh perfect adaptation with, obviously with the omission of the added characters and slightly altered plot lines, but they adapted the Shane arc almost 100%, which was
Yeah.
issues 1 through 10, I think. And I don't know. I think Frank Darabont leaving the show was like that's where the quality dropped.
Yeah, for sure.
Or at
Yeah.
least the vision was when the vision went from being the showrunner to the showrunner and the writers and executive, like there's too many cooks in the kitchen from that point on.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm ready for trailers, man.
I'm ready for this, actually.
Yeah, right.
This I've loosely followed this production, man. Like, and I'm interested to see how Radcliffe pulls off Weird Fucking Al. We'll know after about a minute and 10 seconds.
It's crazy that he took that role.
It
I mean,
It
it
is.
makes
is.
And
sense,
he is
but
picky. I've heard him talking in interviews like they send stuff in. I think first, like his mom or someone will look at it and see if he would like, because he gets a lot.
yeah.
And then, they might be like, this might be something you want to fuck with. And
Yeah.
then it gets to him because, he don't need the money. Clearly,
No.
in this
Nah.
movie, it wasn't a cash grab. But yeah, I'm ready. You guys ready?
Yeah, dude.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Dude, I really don't know a lot about Weird Al, so
No.
I mean, I know his songs. I mean, I'm interested.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, sure. So that's a Roku, so that'll be like out when it drops. Fall.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready for it though.
I mean, dude, I bought
Odd
a
lock.
TV just to watch it.
Like a surgeon.
Yeah, the valet. Let me guess, Shang-Chi without the mystical stuff.
God, I hope so. You know?
Tons of fighting.
Or he's just like a con man. Because that
Yeah,
dude looks like a con man.
he
That
does,
car.
right?
It looks like a Unabomber.
Real Top Gun actor.
All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, he's just okay. Okay.
So it's this.
Yeah.
It's the fake it till it's real romance.
Then they fall in love.
Yeah.
Mhm. Like everybody around him is gonna be like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude fucks."
Yeah, right.
Get his
Fucking
buddies.
took the hammer.
Oh, okay. That's the chick from Guns Akimbo.
It
On Ready or
is.
Not. I was like, where do I know this bitch from? Ready or Not was pretty good. A lot of killing.
I mean, that looks kind of funny though, to be fair.
Let's go into Hulu.
Hulu? This is gonna be rough. George Carlin's American Dream? It's a documentary.
Yeah, I think Judd Apatow.
Down.
A 2-part.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what it do. 3, 2, 1, play. Of course. Dude, he has so many comedy specials.
Oh no.
$14. Always writing a new hour.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy every bit of that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carlin's a fucking legend, man.
For sure.
Even some people kind of got off the wagon in his bitter old man years, but I thought he was
I
still
liked him.
fucking nailing it.
Yeah. Yeah. They used to play his specials
They
constantly.
did, yeah.
Remember when they had that thing on Comedy Central at midnight
Yeah.
where
Yep.
it would be like the uncensored stand-up comedy specials?
Oh yeah.
And he had one on like every week,
Yeah.
you know?
I can't
And
tell you how many times I saw the one where all the desks are behind him.
yeah,
And it's like, why
yeah,
they just leave that like that? They just did it. Just fuck it. It's all piled up
yeah.
back there.
Yeah, who
The
gives a fuck?
I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember one of my favorite ones by him was one of his early ones, and it's where he's standing in the middle of that little auditorium, and they're
Yeah.
like it's the
Yeah, the
crowd's all
round.
surrounding him.
Yeah.
That was a very good one.
Yeah. Man. I wonder if there's a mega pack of them.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All I needed to know, you know,
So the plot thickens here. Remember we watched
with
that first trailer?
yeah,
Well, this like
Chippendale.
lets you know a little bit more like how what the movie's plot is.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it looks good.
I'm
Alright.
ready.
Yeah, humans can't fuck tunes.
Yeah. Oh,
Wrong
May the
movie.
20th.
Sorry.
Soon.
Just all right. 3, 2, 1, play. Not me.
Is that Mulaney?
Yes. It's him and Andy Samberg. Flounder. He moved on. Is that from Gumby?
I don't think so. That's so fucking funny though. Oh my god.
It's the Coca-Cola polar bear. Look at all the pop culture here, dude. Just he was in. Oh, it's fucking Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Old washed up Peter Pan, the one that was in the animated. It looks like a silly goose time.
Yeah.
And probably the best thing Seth Rogen's been in this year.
Yeah, for sure,
Because it
man.
doesn't star him.
Yeah. And he didn't write it. Burn. All right. Y'all know this is going to be stupid. You already
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's a sequel to Finding Nemo, bro. Man, that fell flat.
Let's see what an updated Jaws movie looks like. All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Yep. Far Cry, you know?
Yeah.
Group of friends. Look out for the big shark. Oh, it ate his legs. Warning. Mm-hmm. Trust your gut. My mind's telling me no. Ugh. Okay. That would have killed someone, at least one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The jet skis just disappeared. No, there's one of them. Yeah. People don't normally go that deep with those,
No.
especially without a paddle. Nah, y'all better make some room on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Uh-uh. Mm. They just keep getting knocked off of it.
They're gonna fucking try to shock it with the battery? Bitch, you know that burns.
Fuck this movie.
We,
Fuck that.
we gotta
Fuck
fucking watch it, dude.
that.
So, just an idea. There's like, what'd you say? There's like 5 of them, 6 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you could take turns. One of you could
Yeah.
sit at the back of that thing and
And
kick your
paddle?
legs, and it'll
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
It will
Yeah. Yeah.
move. Just an idea. I wouldn't have
Yeah,
got
you
off of
know.
it and swam out into fucking nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, why'd they make
No.
him go?
Yeah, right. I'm excited about this next trailer though.
Is
I've
this
heard
the
some.
Black Widows? What's her name?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is Midsummer. Yeah. Empire State
yeah.
Building.
Macaroni and cheese. All
But
right.
yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Oh, was that Olivia Wilde? Harry Styles?
Yeah.
Is he going to turn out to be quite the actor?
I think he is.
I haven't seen him in anything else. Have y'all?
Yeah, he was in Dunkirk,
What?
right? Yeah.
That was a creepy shot.
Wasn't Dunkirk. Colt. Damn. She's like a cult magnet.
Yeah.
Like the Stepford Wives.
Oh yeah, it kind of is. Not even real. I think they're a part of it. Yeah. I mean, I'm in.
Yeah.
This is like sci-fi Handmaid's Tale. It seems like they're in a future where something's happened and the men are trying to
Oh,
control women again.
yeah,
Like,
they're like living them in the past.
yeah,
Looks
at least that's
interesting.
what it seems like.
It's so fucking funny. She's a cult
I
magnet,
mean, dude,
dude.
Well, maybe this time she gets stuffed in the bear.
Yeah, right. What is this? Four Horsemen
I mean,
Apocalypse?
I haven't seen this trailer, but it's a real movie. I did verify that.
We click,
Okay.
It's the
we click
Apocalypse, the
play,
movie.
and we start hearing the Horseman's theme from wrestling.
Shit, I'm ready for it.
All right.
Sure.
3, 2, 1, play.
Of course.
Oh. 2020. It's like every action movie in one movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look, here they come. Dude,
They're literally fighting the Horseman.
it's every Apocalypse movie, like in one. I don't think you can fight those guys.
It'll.
It looks so bad, I think it's going to be good. Look,
Yeah.
Is the weatherman going to be tracking them like they track Santa Claus on Christmas Eve? Hey, guys, it's 8:30 and Santa's making his way past the Yucatan Peninsula.
yeah.
We go to our Santa tracker on radar.
I mean, that looks pretty rough, but you know,
Oh, just wait for
sometimes
the
it be.
last trailer. It's a found footage movie called Dash Cam.
Ooh.
All right, Watcher,
I hardly knew her.
a film about voyeurism.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Shudder.
Oh, you're Romania.
She
Okay.
don't like, she don't like, she don't like. Romaine.
Oh, we watched a fucking
I recognize that dude.
teaser.
We saw a
We watched
teaser
a
of this.
teaser for this.
Oh yeah, the guy looking at her from across the way. He likes to watch.
Why are you wearing that stupid man suit? You know?
Yeah.
What's your name?
The house that Jack built.
Yeah.
I go to the window and I stare and I stare.
Oh. That's Ruddy mysterious.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this guy looks a little gaffer taped in the middle.
You're asking yourself, is it Shark Day? Is it fucking Shark Month? Shark Week?
It's gonna be one hell of a beer commercial.
So this is a Chinese movie.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
So you
Lay
know
it
it's gonna
on me.
be over the top, right?
Yeah.
Like look at that shark in
Dude,
the thumbnail.
let's hit play, my guy.
3, 2, 1, play. Clearly had a better budget than the other one.
Yeah, for sure.
Why are they always reeling the kaiju in like a fish?
What the fuck?
Deepest, bluest, by half it's like a shark fin. Wonder what level you gotta be to capture him.
So he had like little arms he could crawl around. Half shark, half T-Rex. Shark Rex. What was that movie with the smart sharks? Deep Impact? Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
In a world where glass totally fails everyone.
It just delivered the line. We are the food supply. Oh, look at him, dude. He goes full trimmer mode. Dude. Nuke it. Whoa.
Yeah, what the fuck? All right.
I don't think they thought about how that would look when the shark was just belly flopping around the city.
Yeah, no.
He's like, trust me, it'll look way better once it's off the storyboard and on the screen.
Yeah.
We have a sick character design.
This fucking land shark, dude, this land shark, he fucks, okay?
Dude, yeah, like he ain't messing around with that pussy down, dude. He's straight fucking.
Yeah.
We saw how gnarly his teeth was, so we put them all over his body.
All right. Found footage
This
movie.
this is the crown jewel of the night, right?
I mean, it was the trailer at the end of the line. I
The
almost put
polished turd.
Weird Al at the bottom, but I didn't want to go on that. It was a slow week for trailers. We didn't have
That's
any
funny.
with Bruce Willis in them. You know?
Ah, damn it. Or Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Fuck.
3, 2, 1, play.
I can't get over that fucking Four Horsemen shit.
Band car. Oh. Filmed with an iPhone 6.
What?
I'm getting sick.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with these movies. Over.
Yeah, I've got something to say too, man.
Like, man, if you're going to move, you know what I mean? Run around with a camera like that, you better have a damn good story.
Yeah.
A damn good one. Cloverfield, man.
And to add to that, you know, I know the next great innovative found footage movie is out there. This ain't it.
No.
But this is one of the movies that's got to come out for us to get to that
Yeah,
one.
they got to do it. Be like, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Because it makes
lot of
sense. It's
people-
someone that's vlogging live. They're live
Yeah.
streaming. People do this all the time now. It's a big thing. They just walk
Well, I
around
mean,
with a camera strapped to them.
there was that movie, what, a year or two ago that had dude from Harold and Kumar, John Cho,
Mm-hmm.
where he was doing something similar, where he was like dealing with people's. It was like on Facebook or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's obviously going to be the angle, but I just don't feel like the right movie's been made yet.
No. Eventually.
Despite them
All
going
my
the way, despite the way the Paranormal Activity films went on, the first one was good for what it was in the same sense that the Blair Witch Project was good.
Yeah.
Horror with the supernatural element is obviously the easier route to pull because you can do the less is more.
Yeah.
You can like we could go meet up in a
It's definitely
thicket
cheaper.
of woods and
Yeah. That's why they make a lot of them because it's so cheap.
Well, it's gonna be that movie that there needs to be that movie that comes out that's found footage that ups the ante just a little bit more, but it just doesn't suck.
You can make the camera move around a lot and stabilize it a little. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Like, dude, that was really like watching that. I'm like, I have motion sickness just watching the trailer. And it's 1.5 minutes.
And like you said, Adam, they make a lot of these movies. I wonder if, because I like a movie where they have where there's like for some reason these people are wearing GoPros, GoPro or body cams, and you just watch these scientists just find this crazy shit. You know, like stumbled into a
Oh
vault and
yeah,
it's
what you
like a
could use, man, is
Stargate
like
or
some of those.
something.
I watch these people on YouTube where they'll strap a camera and go like spelunking. They'll go explore an abandoned,
Yeah,
place. Like I even went to a missile silo. There's a guy that has a channel where he'll go to these like mansions, theme parks,
yeah.
and he's got better camera work than what that is. And he just has like a GoPro strapped to him, and
Yeah.
then it's because it's got built-in image stabilization. So
Well, I mean, well,
have them
I
run
feel
into
like
something, have something going on like that, like
I know that they did the movie Project Almanac, I think is what it was, but
Hmm.
they tried to do the time travel element with found footage.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that deserves a second try and a better story to be told.
yeah,
I because here's my thing. Some of the best parts in some of these, or any adventure story that deals with some shadowy group that's throwing shit together, is those random moments where they find like something left over from them, like they're raiding an old compound. Um, Prime example, like the Dharma Initiative videos
yeah,
from Lost. Just little moments where they're like, "All right, we're here. We're running experiment number 157.
yeah.
Um, it is 1600 on a Thursday. Blah blah blah." And the shit happens, and like stuff like that, and it just makes it ominous. It adds that weird, like you feel like you shouldn't be watching this,
Mm-hmm.
and it adds to the creep vibe. And I wish there could be a movie that nails that properly like that.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
yeah.
we'll get there one day, man. So
What are
what are we
we?
gonna
Yeah.
watch? Yeah, what are we gonna do next week? There's a couple of things that have came out since we've been doing the Richard Kelly threesome.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling it. um, we got Sonic available.
Yeah.
We got X.
Yeah. Definitely want to watch that.
Yeah. We've got Uncharted.
Uncharted.
So how about we just do them all three?
I mean, I want to
Like,
see all three of them.
you want me to put them in the list randomizer?
Throw them in there. We haven't done that in a long time.
I know, right?
Holy shit.
It's been a minute. All right, I'm gonna put Sonic,
Let the gods
X,
decide. Well, the
Uncharted.
AI.
How many times am I spinning it?
3.
261? Oh, okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right, we got X. Let me put it in the here we go. So we've got X, we've got Sonic, Uncharted.
I mean, that's almost damn near perfect.
Yeah.
If it wasn't going to be in that order, then it would have been Sonic and X, and I would have been all right with it. But did
Yeah.
not want to watch Uncharted first.
Right. Yeah.
It might be a banger, dude.
I'm interested to see because like there's been a lot of
I
negativity
definitely want
about
to
it.
see it.
Yeah.
So this just gives me a reason to watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've
Making
heard
myself
great
do
things.
it.
Yeah, I've heard great things about. But wait, here's the real question. Okay, Doctor Strange comes out this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go watch it. Are
I
we
could
gonna?
probably, I might be able to squeeze it in Sunday, depending on the showings.
That's gonna be a little harder for me. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But
Understood.
once we've all seen it, because I know you're going to go watch it, Trav.
I'm gonna try my best.
Yeah. It'll be out for a little bit. You'll find some time.
Yeah. So how about we do this? We roll with like the X Sonic Uncharted.
Yeah.
When we get the message that all three of us have
Yeah.
seen it, we just slot it in there.
Kind of like we did with Batman.
Yes.
We had an
And
episode planned. There was an emergency council meeting.
yeah,
Just switched to Batman.
the fucking elders got together and made a decision.
The timekeepers decreed.
Yeah, so
The reason I don't want to wait too long with that movie, because I've already seen, like, there's already TV spots that are giving away
that's
too much.
full.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude, I don't want to see it. I'm not watching that
yeah,
final trailer. I don't need
Yeah.
to see no more. But dude, if
Yeah.
that goddamn internet being able to keep their fucking mouth shut, it's gonna be a problem.
I know, man.
It's because
Because
as soon as that comes
yeah.
out, it's just gonna be all over. Just
Oh,
Yeah.
by midday,
yeah,
all the YouTube channels will have their 10 things you missed when you watched the
yeah.
Multiverse of
I
Madness at
watched the
5 a.m.
Multiverse of
this
Madness
morning.
at half speed. Here's what I saw.
I
Yeah.
watched it twice.
Well, fucking Heavy Spores has already got videos up
He does.
because the premiere happened last night or not before last.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like there's already it's there.
Well, one thing that I do know is that at that CinemaCon, I think we talked about it last week, or I don't know, I can't remember. They've the first 20 minutes of the movie has been spoiled because they aired it at CinemaCon.
Yeah.
It hasn't been
So,
spoiled for me.
Yeah.
well,
I'm
I mean,
definitely
well,
gonna wait.
it is out there.
Yeah.
I didn't read it either, but I assume there were articles that was like we're about to start explaining. So
Yeah.
I was like, dip.
Yeah. Don't want to know. But yeah, we got X, and then I'm gonna go watch Doc Strange, and yeah, I got an eye doctor's appointment. It's
Awesome.
not relative. Yeah, it's not relative to any of this, but
You gonna
it's
go
happening.
after that?
No. We're gonna make because the eye doctor's appointment's at 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and we got to go to Huntsville. So,
Mm.
yeah. But I've got some time slotted, and it's only an hour. It's only 2 hours, a little over 2 hours
Yeah, I was
long.
surprised it wasn't longer. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
me
okay.
too. Yeah, because Spider-Man was like what 3
Yeah, it
hours
was long.
almost. So but
All right.
but yeah.
Watching X next week. A24, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Checks in the mail. Coming